Okay, in this video we're going to be going over equations with fractional coefficients. Okay, so our first problem, we're going to be solving x over 2 plus x over 3 equals 5. Okay, now I know we're used to finding the least common denominator of all the fractions and then going from there. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to find a way where we can make these fractions into terms that are not fractions. So that basically we're going to have a new equation with no fractions in it. So that way it's easier to solve than this original equation. So we are going to find the least common denominator here. So in this case, the least common denominator in all of these fractions is 6. So what I'm going to do is we're going to multiply this entire equation by 6. So basically we're going to be multiplying the 6, we're going to like distribute the 6 to every fraction, okay? So when we distribute it, this first fraction now becomes 6 times x over 2. So that becomes 6x over 2, okay? Now when we multiply 6 by x over 3, this now becomes positive 6x over 3, okay? And then when we multiply the 6 times 5, we get 30. Okay, now by looking at this, we can actually simplify these fractions. So 6x over 2 is really, so 6 divided by 2 is really just 3. So this becomes 3x. And then positive 6 divided by 3 is 2, right? It's 2, and then so it's really 6x divided by 3. So this becomes 3x plus 2x and equals, and bring down that 30. Now we can combine like terms. 3x plus 2x equals 5x. Okay, 5x, and bring down that equals 30. And then we can get x by itself by dividing both sides by 5. Okay, so that will cancel that out. Divided by 5 equals x. 30 divided by 5, so x equals 6. Okay, so that's our answer for that problem. Now we move on to a different problem. Okay, in this case it's going to be a subtraction problem. So it's going to be 2a over 5 minus a over 4 equals 9/20. Okay, so just like in the last problem, we're going to find the least common denominator of the entire equation. We're going to multiply the entire equation by the least common denominator. Okay, so let's look at the denominators here. Our least common denominator in this case is 20. So we're going to multiply this entire thing by 20. Okay, so we can just, it's like you're distributing that 20. So 20 times 2a over 5 really becomes 40. See this, 40a over 5. So 40a over 5, so 40 over 5 is really 8. Okay, so it's like 8a. Okay, and then here we go. This negative a over 4, right, times 20 becomes, it's like negative 20a over 4. So negative 20 divided by 4 is negative 5. Okay, but then you have the a there. So 8a minus 5a. Okay, and then equals, then we're going to distribute this 20 to this guy. So it's like 20 times 9 divided by 20, or 20 over 20. You can cancel those out and you're left with the 9. Okay, 8a minus 5a equals 3a. Okay, equals 9. Divide by 3 on both sides, and we have a equals 3. Okay, all right, let's do another one. Last problem. do x over 3 plus x minus 2 over 4 equals 0. Okay, so least common denominator in this case. Remember, this is like 0 over 1. So least common denominator in this case is 12. So we're going to multiply this entire equation by 12. Okay, 12 times x over 3 is 4x. Actually, let me rewrite that so it's up a little higher. So 4x. Okay, now this is where it gets a little tricky. 12 times x minus 2 over 4. Okay, so now if I were to rewrite this, it looks like this. 12 times x minus 2 over 4. Okay, over 4. Now remember, we can simplify this 12 and the 4. Okay, we can simplify it, and this, it's like really 12 divided by 4, which is really just 3. So it looks like this, 3. Okay, so we can take this and place it up over here. So plus 3x minus 2, okay. Okay, and 12 times 0 equals 0. Okay, now we're left with this. Now just by looking at this, we can tell already that this is, yep, that's right, distributive property. Okay, so 3x, this becomes 3x minus 6. Okay, I'm going to bring everything else down. Okay, we can combine like terms here. So that becomes 7x minus 6 equals 0. Okay, we want to get x by itself because we want to solve for x. So we're going to get rid of this 6, adding 6 on both sides. Okay. Bring down that 7x, and now we have 7x equals 6. Got to get rid of that 7, so we divide by 7 on both sides. And now we're left with x equals 6/7.